Yeah, that was the first year after they started, that was.
This is...
And I said that the others are much later, regretfully, they're 1913 to 14, and these are the ones, and that's 13, 14, 11. Dad's in all of these, Joe Merryweather somewhere. He was their trainer when he first started.
Yeah, the chap there, Kingsley, Scotty Kingsley.
Oh, yeah.
He's seeing his brother tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I had a little piece in the Free Press recently. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I don't think we get the Free Press.
You don't? Oh, well,
no.
But anyway, he saw this, and his brother was sitting there. It's his picture from 1920. So he got in contact with me. He's only living down in Welling, so I'm going down to see him tonight.
Oh, well, you can take the photo. Oh, I suppose you got a photo, has he? Has he got a photo of it?
Well, he has got some. Yeah, he says he's got a lot of photos and programmes and contracts. And
oh, well, he's got more than I think. I've only got the.
These are lovely.
These
are really are lovely.
I said that's the original one, obviously, but then I got it when I worked in the Arsenal. They've done it up for me, and
so that was that an older one than that one?
I don't know, quite honestly. I don't know the actual years of that one.
So we're a boys' team, aren't we? These are marvellous. As I said, I mean, until about 3 weeks ago, I'd never seen any photos from before the First World War.
Oh, hadn't you? Oh.
No, so I mean, it's just all...
regretfully, that's all there is, you know.
Those are
these are the ones they've done up for me. The ones that they'll be...
Perhaps
they'd be better to copy these, would it? Photograph these, or whatever you want.
I mean, probably for the definition, it might be better to actually copy the originals. They come out quite nice, though, haven't they?
Yeah, they come up quite well. I said the chap in the Arsenal done, and he was, he was in the
one thing, the originals are slightly bigger, aren't they? With the exception of that one. You see where they're bigger, I'll get more detail on the negative. I think, I mean, if it's okay with you, I'll borrow the originals.
Yeah, sure, whatever you want.
As I say, I mean, I can return them to you early next week.
Well, no, I can call over in a week's time for them.
Yeah?
Give you a complete week if you want to. Yeah.
What's the other one there? Is that?
Oh, that's one of the old Charlton team with Sam Barton, all the crowd. That's one of my own. I had it donkey's years, but that's nice. That's one what used to be behind the stand, you know, the old stand.
In the car park.
Yeah.
Now with all this.
Yeah, well, I knew them all except one. There's one I couldn't place there, and I think I took it over to Charlie Hall, because Charlie Hall and I played up from school together.
Mm-hmm.
We were at school together, and we played in the same team at Fosdene, and then during the war we played for Charlton Rovers together, and we come right through together. Then Charlie took up training, and that's when he started training in Charlton, obviously.
Yeah.
So he went to there, Charlie did, and
that's a nice picture. Can you do with those? Can you name them all? Come across there.
Let's think. It's Hobbs. That's Jack Shreve. That's Green. Green, I see him a lot.
Georgie Green. Yes, I've met Georgie. He's a wonderful character.
He lives in flats at Marlborough Lane. Oh, terrible flats out there. He lives in.
I haven't been to his house. I've met him.
And that's Popeye Brown, obviously.
Yeah.
Don Welsh. That's Jimmy Oakes, Bert Turner, Robinson, and that's the one I don't know. That's Sam Bartram.
And who's that one there?
That's one I don't know. I think it's Tan. I'm not sure.
It's Bert Tan.
Bert Tan. I'm not sure that one.
Yeah.
But that's the one I could never.
So that's
paddle that one out.
That's more or less immediately post-war, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, Hobbs started to the knees on Hobbs. The knees on all of them.
Yeah.
Not really
need, it isn't it? Like a competition, isn't it? Heidi high. The competition.
Would it be alright to borrow that one as well?
Yeah, sure, by all means.
Yeah. Right, okay then. Let's put those down there. It's a bit stuffy in here, isn't it?
It's a very warm day today, actually. I walked across the heath, you know, and I'm reasonably fit, but I was sweating by the time I got here.
It was this, the weather's been sort of chilly the past few days. I've got the storage heaters on, but we can't turn them off during the day because they're only on at night, and they sort of pumping out the heat during the day. But anyway, perhaps we could start off. You could sort of tell us a bit about your dad and what you know about how he came to be involved in running this boys' football team.
Well, it first started down at Siemens. That's where I worked actually during the war. But outside Siemens was a field, and they used to call Siemens Field. And Dad got this team, or about three of them got this team together, and they played on Siemens Field first of all, to start with. in fact, there's a lot of variations of why they were called the Addicts.
Yeah.
But Dad told me that after the game, there was a fish shop down there, and they used to treat the opponents to haddock and chips or something like that, about a penny and a halfpenny, something like that. They used to treat them, and that's where they got, oh, we're going to play the Addicts today, because that's what they used to get for their meal afterwards, haddock, you know. So that's what Dad told me, and everything like that.
And they were a boys' team, weren't they?
Oh, to start with, yes,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the people at Charlton, Colin Cameron, or all of those, I know all the details, what leagues and everything they went on to, you know.
True, yeah.
But they started from there, and then they played at one place called Pound Park once. It's as you go down Charlton Lane. Do you know Charlton Lane?
Yeah, Charlton Lane. Still on the right hand side at the bottom near the railway, isn't that right?
Yeah, before you come to there, there's when you turn down to the valley, before you come to there, on the right hand side, there's a big hill that goes right over.
Yeah.
They used to have a picture right on there at one time, right on the top. And Dad said from one touchline, you couldn't see the other touchline at all. All you saw was heads going along. That's why he bent over like that. All you could see was heads going along. He said, really weird that was, and everything like that. Well, then Dad followed them around, for donkey's years and everything like that. Then when they got, because Dad wasn't a doctor or anything like that. He was just a trainer. You know, he just take the bag on and the cold water and sponge and everything like that. He wasn't medical in any way. He was just someone there to, because Dad never played football in his life. That's the amazing part. Never played.
So did he ever say what it was that actually made him get involved?
No, I don't think he ever did say. Well, he loved football because obviously he followed Charlton. He used to go away with them and everything like that. Dad did, and he was just in. He used to love football but could never play it himself.
Yeah.
And
how old was he when the team was actually formed?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps you can judge by that photo. I mean, I couldn't tell you quite honestly. If you look at the 1905 one, I think he's in that one somewhere.
That one.
Yeah.
Is that him on the left then?
Yeah, that's him. Oh no, he's not in that one. No, I don't think he's in that one. I think that one. Yeah, it's got his name on it. That's in there with the bag. Yeah, that's right. But I suppose it must have been early 20s, something like that. I assume that. That's when he started them.
And did he support anyone before he started with?
No, that was it. That was his life. Charlton was his life, yeah. And because he was very much involved with a chap called Reverend Hutchinson. In fact, he was my godfather, and he was the local priest around that area. And him and Dad, he helped Dad as well. And they had a boys' club down there. I forget the name. I think St Peter, something like that, in Woolwich. And this Reverend Hutchinson, Hutch as he was affectionately known, he ran this boys' club, and Dad helped him run that. And then Dad took up timekeeping, and Dad was a timekeeper, and he used to be a timekeeper down Plumstead Bars, and all the local ones, Elton Bars, when they used to have boxing there.
Yeah.
He always used to take me with him. He wanted me to be a boxer, but my God, he put me in once with a little black boy, and this little black boy knocked the guts out of me. So that was my first and last. I had no ambitions after that.
And how old were you then?
Oh, about 9 or 10. You know, very early. You know, Dad put me in, and this kid just went like a windmill. You know, and I was trying to be classical, and he knocked me all over the place. Oh no, that's not for me, Joe. So I packed up. I used to go down with Dad, and I used to sit by the side of him on the timekeeper's bench. You know. And the only thing is, you always get sawdust, or you're getting the spitting out. They used to miss the pail and everything like that. They used to get covered in everything like that. And, I remember Dad once, he got so engrossed in a boxing, you know, such a good fight, and he forgot about the time, and it went on and on and on. It went over 4 minutes, didn't it? Oh my God, bang! Oh, Dad, he never lived that down, did he? All the mates took the rise out of him after that. You know, he got so engrossed in it that everything like that. Then Dad, in latter years, Dad used to follow them around as a mascot. He used to dress up as a woman, actually.
Did he?
Oh yes, he had a big hat. He used to dress up as a woman. And there are a lot of photos, I don't know where they are, I wish I knew where they are, where the old-fashioned charabancs were going, put up outside of pub, and Dad was there with all the supporters, and they used to go to Brighton or whatever division they were in. And I remember once he went to Brighton, and he went to the toilet. Of course, he went in the gents. And when he came out, the policeman jumped on him, didn't he? And he had to prove he was a man, didn't he? Oh yeah, there are those photos around. I wish I knew where they were, because old Colin Cameron, he's a lot to do with Charlton. He keeps asking me for the programmes, because I've got programmes of way back, you know, but they've been put away under the stairs or somewhere. I looked and looked for them, I can't find them. But there were all these photos of Dad dressed up as a woman. In fact, Harold Deacon, I don't suppose you know him, he used to write in the Mercury.
Yeah.
Independent rather. He was very good, he was a columnist. And he drew photos of Dad in there, and when they'd done well against Manchester City, when they were part of the third division side, they beat Manchester City and all that, and he took done sketches of them. And
that would have been their promotion years, would it, in the 30s?
Yes, way back, yeah. And he'd done some of Dad at boxing and everything like that, and he was a great friend, old Harold was. And I said, it's a pity, you know, I've got two sons, they're not really interested. They are interested in football, but not interested in keeping things, you know.
Yeah.
And they look at them and put them away. I wish they are somewhere indoors, but, you know, I'd hate to have to look for them because there's so much junk under the stairs and up in the loft that God knows where they are. But old Colin keeps saying to me, "Look, Joe, let me have them so I can get you about £5 for them." I said, "It's not a question of money, Colin." I said, I don't really want to let them go.
Well, if they're very early pros, get more than that. They're very so collectible these days. But I mean, it's not the monetary value, is it?
No, I said, quite honestly, Colin, you're really interested in Charlton. I said, my two sons are not. I said, if I find them, you can willingly have them. I don't want anything for them because they're only being stored away. And if anyone can get any pleasure out of looking at the old teams of years ago, by all means, they're welcome to them. But I said, it's just one of these things. I haven't had the nerve to get under those stairs and pull everything out and find them, but I'd love to find them, but I will do.
I mean, they'd just be nice to look at for yourself. I mean,
looking at the teams of you know, in the first division all those years ago, or in the third division. It's really interesting.
So when did your connection with Charlton actually begin? When did your dad take you down there for the first time?
Well, he took me down right from the beginning. I was bred on Charlton, you know. As soon as Dad used to go down, Mum said, "Take him with you." So was it, take the boy with you. So the boy went.
How old would you have been?
Oh, about not too early. I think about 9. I think something like that. And I started going down with Dad then, and I followed them all the time with him. You know.
Yeah. You remember your first match?
Oh gosh, no. That's 50 odd years ago. No, I couldn't remember. I used to get so excited at times that I wouldn't look and everything. I got, you know, all keyed up. I remember a promotion match, and Charlton had to draw, and we lived in Charlton Village. We've lived in Charlton Village all our lives, and I was so excited that I wouldn't even go to the match. And the house we had in Charlton Village is a watchmaker's now. It's got a little veranda outside. Yeah. And I stayed in my bedroom all the afternoon during the match and everything like that, and lift up the window and had people going by, how'd they get on, how'd they get on? And they drew 3 each and they went up, you know. I was I get very excited over that. Yeah. I don't at the match, I'm not one of these people who shout at all, I don't, you know, it's all inside. I mean, when I saw us partner and Charlton score a goal, everybody goes like, "Oh yeah!" But me, I just stand there motionless, you know, but it's inside sort of thing. That's it. I think it would be better if it did come out, but it don't. I mean, my wife's very excited. She sits by the side of me, come on, especially Chris Duffy. She used to love Chris Duffy during those days, you know. Come on, Chris, and Popeye Brown and everything like that. And but so, in fact, when the wife used to go with my son, he said, "Mother," he said, "you're an embarrassment to be sitting there jumping up and shouting like that." A bit of a giggle. And well, that was it.
I mean, till when was your dad actually involved with Charlton? When did he actually give up?
Well, he stayed there actually till he died.
How long ago was that?
He died. It's funny. There was a piece of paper I meant to bring it. Old Joe, the pioneer, and it's all about Dad at Charlton. And I got that indoors, and I only looking it up. I think it was, I'm not sure, I think it was 77 Dad died. He was 95 when he died.
Was he really?
But he used to work down the United Glass Blowers. It's not there anymore, used good bottles. He worked down there. He worked in a place called the Sand Pit, which was the bottom of Charlton Lane. As you say, as you go down Charlton Lane, before you come to the railway crossing, on your right hand side used to be a big sand pit, and they used to take all the sand from there down to the UGB to make the bottles. That's where Dad worked all his life. So that's where originally Dad would be associated with Siemens and everything like that. Then he packed up work. Oh God, he packed up about 70, over 70, 75 I think. And then he stayed at home. He said, "I can't stay at home." So then he went and got a job down Charlton. They gave him a job down Charlton, painting the railings. And he helped putting the St Bartram gate up, which was the one at the top. And then he broke his thumb doing that, but he helped that. And he stayed down there for years and years, Dad did. And then he packed up there. Then he went to work at the post office up in London. Oh, he was working till he was about 85, I would think, or everything like that. But he was going down Charlton right till the last, say, about 5 years when Mum died, and he went to live with my sister then up in Merryweather Road behind the Fox Under the Hill.
Yeah.
And it was too much to walk all the way down there, so he didn't used to go. But obviously I had to go up there and tell him all about the match after every game, you know. And of course at that time he didn't know the players, you know, he only knew what I told him sort of thing, so he didn't know any of the players. And he was interested in that right up till, or till he died, you know. Even when he was in hospital, he was still asking how they got on and everything like that. So his whole life was Charlton, so yeah.
That's marvellous.
Yeah.
When you were a child, did you get to meet all the players?
Oh yes, yeah. Dad was always down there with them and everything like that, you know. And in fact, we used to play. The entrance to the valley was there's about an area of ground where you go before you go with the players' entrance, everything like that. And we used to play football there, and the players used to come out and play about with us, you know, and everything like that when we were kids, and it was glorious. And then Dad said to me, "Oh, they want some stewards in the stand." When was this? I think when I was I playing football? No, I packed up playing football. I packed up about 35. I used to play for Siemens. I packed up playing about 35 when I found out that the centre forwards, I had to give them a yard. When we were level, I was younger, right, but then when you get older, you think you have to give the centre forwards a yard because they were going by you, so trying to hang up your boots, Joe. So Dad said that they want a steward down there, so I said, oh, okay, I got a job. So I went down there and I worked as a steward in the stand. And the scoreboard everywhere, all around the ground, you know. And then it built up. Then I was made, after years, I was made in charge of the stand down there, so I was in charge of all the stewards down there. And well, that's about it. Then the wife came down there, she worked down there on the turnstile, and my son came down there because he was out of work at the time. He got him a couple of pounds.
It's been a real family thing, hasn't it?
Oh yes,
That's
and I said now we go over to Sellers Park. I'm in charge of half of the member stand. You know, the member stand's got two supervisors. I'm one of the supervisors in there, you know. And the wife is on the ticket office taking the tickets there. So we go over there once a fortnight, you know. And
how does it feel being down at Sellers?
Terrible. We're not wanted there at all.
Yeah.
There's all little things. I mean, for instance, I noticed that in the member stand behind the tea bar, it's like 30 pence for tea for Crystal Palace, 35 for Charlton, and all little things like that. And no one feels happy there. We're not at home there. It's not the Valley, and you know that's
not a very nice stadium either. I mean, it's only three-sided for one thing. I mean, that Sainsbury's end is so ugly. I mean, there's nothing there, is it? It's just 10 terraces, you know. That's about
right.
it.
Oh yeah. No, we're not happy there. I mean, they say the players don't feel happy there, but that's a load of rubbish because most of them have never played at the Valley anyway.
That's right. I was talking about this with Bill Treadgold last night. We're trying to work out how many of the regular first team players had actually played at the Valley, and there's just Mark Reed, John Humphreys, Steve Critt.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's about it, isn't it?
That's what I mean. It must be. So they can't say they missed the Valley because they've never played there. That's a load of rubbish. That is. I think it's the spectators that miss it most. They felt homely. Mark you, I mean, the stand I worked in was a terrible old stand. I mean, underneath it was all wooden and there was all cable just all hanging loose, electrical cable, you know. It was a fire hazard, really. When you look around and see the Bradford disaster, you think, God, that could happen here easily. It was a terrible old stand, really. But it was home and it was more compact. I mean, I think we held about 2,000 down Charlton in the stand where we were. Well, this one is double, and they're all spread out, and there's not the closeness, the atmosphere. It's just not there at all, you know. So no, I don't think anyone's happy about that. And Marky, I must say this: I think if those back at the Valley, I don't think they get much bigger gates.
Well, this is one of the arguments, isn't it? I mean, there was one of the arguments say for a return to the Valley. Oh well, you'll get bigger gates if you're back at the Valley. But if you look at I mean, it's hypothetical, I suppose, because gates were declining. I mean, right across football, not just with Charlton. But when Charlton were at the Valley, they were a second division team. They were a third division beginning of the 80s, the other season, and the third. And the crowds were abysmal. I mean, their last match, what did they get down at the Valley? Was it 10,000, 12,000, something like that?
That's right. Yeah.
That's all there was.
That was
you know, which is a big crowd these days.
Yeah, yeah, that's right for Charlton it is. Yeah.
But then since then, there's been all this publicity. I mean, there's been, especially this year, with sort of this Voice of the Valley magazine, fanzine, whatever you want to call it, growing out and sort of continually petitioning and pushing the club, one, for information, and pushing the supporters to sort of get off their bums and actually do something, you know.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, maybe if they did go back in the beginning, the crowds would go up, especially if they were still in the first division. But if they go back to second division football,
oh no,
you know,
oh no,
it's
no.
very cloudy.
Well, see, I think what the lack of support was there. All the factories closing down there.
Yeah.
I mean, years ago there was the UGB and the British Road Works and the Arsenal and Siemens, which was all there. Now, most of them used to work Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
So they used to come out, perhaps go in the pub, have a drink, straight down the valley and everything like that.
Yeah.
Now there's no factories there at all. Everybody's moved out. So
Yeah.
all where there was thousands of people all along by the riverside, the people are not there now. You
Yeah.
know, and like I said, it used to be when they worked Saturdays, straight down there. You know,
Mm.
go home or in the cafe and everything like that. But it's just not there. People have got to travel to get there now.
That's right.
You know, and that puts a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Of course, the trams were a godsend because they used to take so many and trundle along every about 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And but I think it'll be a disaster if they did go down Blackwall.
Well, the one thing, I mean, they say there's a railway spur that goes down there, but they need to build a station. But there's only one bus route that goes down.
Oh, that's
there.
what I mean.
Single decker one way. Well, that's probably all they need. But,
Yeah.
but I mean, all the same. I mean, the access is abysmal.
Oh, that would be a disaster. That would be even worse, you know,
yeah.
quite honestly.
I mean, it's sort of this no man's land down there.
Yeah.
It always will be for years to come.
That's
It's
right,
just going to be one big building site, and it's not going to feel like a home. I mean, okay,
No.
but you know, I suppose you yet to see. I mean, there's the public meeting a couple of weeks ago. Dave Picton, the council leader, he said that the council would totally support Charlton wherever they wanted to go within the borough. So if they wanted to go back to redevelop Valley, they would get 100% support from the council, which is very good. But the council, in a way, want them down on Blackwall Peninsula.
Yeah.
Get them down there, but British Gas, who own the land, don't.
No.
They don't want a first division football team amongst a sort of prestige housing development, which you can understand their point. So, and also, there's a planning application's gone in for half the land at the valley for the car park area, about 3 or 4 acres, I think, for housing.
But I thought that Dickstein, I didn't think you were allowed to build on now. That's what I thought one of the
I
reasons
think
was.
part of it you can build on.
Oh.
Part of it. So
Is it?
Yeah, I think there's only, but the rest of it is for recreational use only.
Yes.
So I mean that's in some ways protected for public recreation in some way. You know, the council's talking about building a multi-purpose sports stadium, which would include things like athletics track going around the outside, which would be useless for football because you're so far away from the pitch.
Yeah.
You know, especially if it's a small stadium of only say 25,000, 30,000 maximum. I mean, the atmosphere is going to be really lacking if they're really spread out.
That's
around
right.
there's going to be no height to it. It's just going to be very sort of
Yeah.
low down, and the atmosphere really will be lacking. But anyway, back to say the 30s, the big matches, or even the 40s, sort of the Arsenals, or really there for the Aston Villa match, the cup match in 38.
Yeah. Oh, that's tremendous, weren't they, the atmosphere. I remember that match down there where Charlton played Huddersfield and they won 7-6.
Mm-hmm.
It was just before Christmas and they were 5-1 down.
Yeah.
And I thought, I've had it, that's it. So I thought, I'm going to Woolwich. So I walked out, I just got out of the gate and suddenly a roar went up.
Yeah.
I went, what's that, 5-2? So they went back and saw the rest of the game. And, oh, God, was I glad I did, you know,
Yeah.
the excitement of that. But to think that I might have missed it. If they hadn't have scored, if they'd have scored about a minute or so later, I'd have gone a bit too far gone to Woolwich to come and get. But I came back and saw the goal and it was tremendous, you know.
Well,
That was.
I mean, they say that was a once in a lifetime match, but it's probably even more than that. I mean,
Oh, yes. Yeah, especially with Derek Afton being out, you know. And,
yeah.
Tell you what, there was a shame about old Stuart Leary, wasn't it?
Tragic, isn't it? Real shame.
Because Stuart was a friend of mine when he was over here. In fact, I taught him tennis.
Did you?
I played tennis for Siemens. And he said to me one day, he said, Joe, he said, will you teach me how to play tennis? I said, yeah, Stu, come up. So he came up one Saturday afternoon. And he was a natural, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. Within a quarter of an hour, he could play tennis. He had a natural eye for the ball. You know,
Yeah.
some people you could knock over to and they're missing it and doing everything wrong. But Stu, straight away, he had a natural eye for it. You know, and I bet within a couple of months, I could have put him in the Siemens team. You know, it just a natural eye for it.
Yeah, but he had the eye for the ball for the football and for the cricket as well.
Yeah, and I think you find a lot of sportsmen have got that.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, I've been sporting all my life. I play all the sports, you know, and well, it was a couple of years, 3 or 4 years ago. my son said, let's have a game of bowls, Dad. And he'd never played, and we went down there, and, you know, it's come so easy to me that I could get literally within a yard or so of the jack every time.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't seem hard to me at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I sit on the telly, and they're doing that, I thought, oh, I can do that. I know you can't. I know you can't. But is it just one of those sports that you think, I could do that? You know, you can see some of these others, and others thought, oh my God, I couldn't live with that. But with that, I think I could. And I said, but Earl Stewart had that, and he was a real smashing bloke, actually.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, he was an all-round sportsman, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Both on the field and off the field.
That's
He was
right.
a gentleman.
He was a real gentleman. I mean, that's the best thing Jimmy C done, wasn't it? But got all those South Africans over with for literally nothing, didn't he? I mean, Huey and all those international.
A couple of them didn't quite make it, did they? Like Kirsten.
No, but I mean, the ones he did, Sid O'Lynn, I mean, he was in the team, wasn't he? And the goalkeeper, the one they called Humphrey Bogart.
Using Bogart.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And John Huey, he had so many caps for Scotland, didn't he?
Yeah.
In a hell of a lot of positions in goal. I think he even played for them. So Jimmy C done really, really well there.
Yeah. Well, he was a very, very clever man, very astute manager.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, sometimes wonder whether Lenny Lawrence is trying to do the same thing and sticking with the same team. Following it.
Well, he made Charlton, didn't he, Jimmy C?
Yeah.
Really, he made Charlton.
Yeah.
Going back to years ago, it reminds me that a hell of a lot of the players had nicknames, and Deb was always making me laugh with them. It's Chubby J and Chucker Hicks, and all fun. I said, how do they get those names, Dad? I don't know, just what we call them, Mosky Mills, and all the players. Mosky Mills and Chucker J and all these.
These would have been what players in the 20s, would they?
Yeah, that's right, the real early ones.
Yeah.
In fact, some of the photos that they got over Charlton. In fact, Charlton borrowed those photos, or Colin did, and took photos of them for over Charlton, actually.
Yeah.
I think years ago. But that made me laugh, some of the nicknames they come out with. But they had glorious times. They went everywhere with Charlton. These old bangers, you know. When you see these old charabancs, like some of your photos, you know,
Yeah.
hard tyres and everything, open charabanc and all that. And so I could never get over there with this whacking great woman's hat, a big black hat, and crinolines and everything like that. I said, I'd love to find those photos again.
How did he ever think of the idea of doing
I
that?
haven't the faintest idea. He never told me. I never asked him. Of course, Mum used to run him down. Silly old bugger, she said, dressing up like that. I think it was some of Mum's clothes he wore. I'm sure it was, you know.
Would you walk down the street with him dressed like that?
Yeah, oh yeah. And he had, as far as I know, he had kind of red flannelette drawers or red and white all the way down there to things. Oh, it was funny, some of them, you know. But they used to have a glorious time. They weren't. They weren't what I call it a pub side or a beery side or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, they'd have one pint or anything, and that would be it. You know, and
Yeah.
but of course, I mean, football, the end was entirely different from now, wasn't it? I mean, the fans could mingle, you could have a good old laugh and a joke with a Millwall supporter by you, have a laugh and a joke, but you couldn't really do that now. But it's an entirely different game. I mean, I noticed this through playing football all my life, and now I'm a referee. You know, it's you don't enjoy the games half as much now. The players don't.
Yeah, well,
sometimes you do.
And even with schoolboys, I mean, what they see on the television or what they see at the matches rubs off on them on the field.
Yeah.
And,
I've stopped years ago doing schoolboy matches because you get more aggro from the parents than you do the kids. I mean, they come on, they've attacked referees, the women come on with umbrellas and attack referees, and the hut fathers that come on and everything like that. You know, it's just not worth it, you know. And of course the kids try and ape the people they see on the television, spitting down, you know, everything like that. And I said I'll stop doing that. I started when I first started refereeing about 25 years ago, doing the boys' matches, but then the parents were like, well, I didn't enjoy it because you can't tell a young boy much, you know. I prefer dealing with men. You can tell men and you know where you stand with men, but with young kids you can't. There are some people who are dedicated to young boys football, good enough to them, but it's not for me at all, you know. I mean, I admire some of these people who can bring up the boys and everything like that, but even then, some of them now are teaching the boys, you know, go in hard, get in there.
Yeah.
They never used to nowadays and everything like that. The parents used to stand and watch everything, but they'd never say, go on, hit him, give him one, bring him down, everything like that. That's what you're hearing nowadays. You know? That's fathers telling the kids to do that. Then they wonder why the children grow up to be like they are, some of them.
That's right.
Yeah.
It rubs off, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh, it does.
But going back to your playing days, what about your connection with Charlton Rovers?
During the war, I played for Charlton Rovers. It was a place called Harold Shrimpton. You wouldn't know him. He's a very good cricketer.
He's a regular at the White Swan, isn't he?
That's it. He goes up there.
I've got to go down and see him sometimes. So.
Have you? Oh yeah.
Colin Cameron told me about him. So.
Yeah. Oh, I went and saw him. He was a regular. I was in and out of the Charlton team. Harold was a regular, and I said Charlie Hall used to play for them as well. That was during the war. And Shrimp's a mate of mine actually. I went and saw him about last year. He's got Parkinson's disease now.
Is he?
Yeah. And also he had he had his hip done as well. It was when England were playing Australia, I think it was a year or so ago or something like that. I thought I'd go round and have a chat with old Hal one morning. I went round there. Go on, bloody well come in, he said. Sit down. We started talking about cricket. He said, all right, you can bugger off now. He said, I'm going up the Swan, whatever it is. Is it the Bugle or the Swan? Or?
It's the White Swan, isn't it?
The White Swan, yeah. I'm going up the Swan. He can bugger off now. I said, I'll walk up with you. Oh, all right, then walk up with us. He goes up there regular. He struggles to get up there. Puts his old trilby on, up he goes there. So he's a real character. He was a great cricketer, actually.
Yeah.
I think he could have played for Kent, really, but they didn't offer him enough money when they offered him. I forget it. It's like about 22 shillings a week or something like something. Yeah. You know, he was earning more down Siemens when he was working down Siemens with me, with us, you know, the gang. And
so how many years were you playing with Charlton Rovers for? How many seasons?
Only just I think just about a couple of years during the during the wartime. You know, it was in and out.
Like, they were founded in about 42, were they? Right, there we go.
Yeah, so it would be like Charlton's Colts team now and everything like that. I said I wasn't a regular, but Charlie and Harold were. Yeah. And
but some of the other players you would have been playing with who might have made it through to the first team or the reserves. Can you think of any of them?
No, I can't actually. Harold, because he played with them more regular than I did, you know.
There's Les Fell, because he started off with didn't he?
I forget his name now. Three of them I know now, but I can't think of their names at all. They went to Earth and Belvedere, I think, some of them. No, I can't actually think of them.
Who was actually running the team?
I'll be honest, I don't know. I said I was only in and out, you know, when they were short and anything like that. I said Harold or Charlie Charlie Hall could tell you there. I don't know who was running the team there. But
it was Jimmy C's idea, wasn't it?
To
get it going. Planning for the future.
Because what it was, the wartime team had international playing for them, didn't they? I mean, Aldershot had one of the best teams in the league because they were all soldiers. They weren't. Well, they were PT instructors, weren't they? And they were internationals down there. I think Tommy Lawton and all those used to play for.
At one point they had the English half back line, didn't they? Aldershot.
Oh, I can well believe it.
About 10 or 11 internationals actually playing.
That's right. Yeah, it was great, especially a team like Aldershot to have all those. Yeah, that was very interesting.
What about matches down at the Valley during the war? Did you go down to any? Did you manage to get the time?
No, we not much actually. I was working in Siemens, and you know you had to work practically every hour that God gave you and everything like that, and they just wouldn't let you go off for Saturday afternoons or everything like that. You had to work a 7-day week, and then on top of that you had to do home guard duties, and I was up on Blackies and the Rockets during the war, and then you had to do fire watching down Siemens as well, so you didn't really have any time at all.
Because I mean they were only getting very, very small crowds down there anyway.
Oh yes, But I remember when the war started, I was running a team called Thames Athletic then, and we used to play here, there and everywhere, and we was playing up on Springate Lane, up on Plumstead Common. And I can't think whether this was the day war broke out. I'm not sure when the first siren went. Anyway, we was playing, I always remember this, we was winning 2-1. And suddenly the siren started going, air raid warning, you know. So, being lads, carry on. Suddenly a policeman coming on. Okay, stop the game. What for? There mustn't be a gathering of any people during an air raid warning. Oh, come on, let's get on with the game. No, we're winning 2-1. No, sorry lad, you've got to pack up, no gathering of people. So they stopped us playing. And in fact, I went to see a friend of mine who I've been for 30 years last year. And that was the first match he ever played for us. He said, do you remember that game when the policeman stopped us playing? We couldn't have a gathering of crowd up on Springate Lane. I said, yeah, always remember that. Yeah.
What about, again, going back to your early days down at Charlton, the sort of the characters that you would have had down there, maybe the vendors or the chap going around with the scoreboard or the...
Oh yes, I remember the chap who used to go around selling the chocolate, and he was terrific, wasn't he? He used to walk around the track, you know, and perhaps 20 yards back someone would say, "Bar Cadbury's mate," and chuck him, say, tuppence or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and he used to go, whew, and it used to go straight to that chap, and he used to duck and pow, like, he used to pick it out. He was terrific, that chap was, you know, and I'll never forget, and peanuts, obviously. And,
what sort of peanuts? What, you remember what the brand was? There's been something that stumped a lot of people when they mentioned the peanut vendors. It's a famous name, but I can't quite remember it.
No. I can see the bag, plain as anything. I can see the bag they sold it and everything like that. It was a kind of fawny colour with red lettering on what I remember, red printing on it. But God damn me. As soon as I go walk across back here, I'll remember that. No, I can't remember it actually.
Would they have, any of the vendors sort of gone around shouting anything out when they were selling the stuff?
Same one.
Would they have been shouting anything out when they were selling the stuff? Maybe
I suppose so, but you know,
I
can't.
Remember.
Yeah, they all have their own calls and everything like that, but I can't honestly. But what I always remember down Charlton is the policemen.
Yeah.
There only used to be about 4 of them, you know, and they used to just stroll. They seemed big and fat, you know, they stroll along, and anybody, kid caused any trouble, smack, straight round the ear, you know, and that was it. Nowadays you'd be taken to court for that, and anything like that. Guys, a copper coming, everything like that. But bam! Oh Christ! Yeah, sorry and everything. And they only had about 3 or 4 perhaps walking around, and that was the lot, you know. They controlled everything, you know, and.
Whereabouts did he stand?
There was always behind the stand with the back towards the river, that one there. Always there, about 6 rows back. The gang used to meet there. The gang, you know, about a dozen of them, all and all the jokes. I can't remember them obviously, but the jokes they used to come out with was terrific. You know, it was a real education. I used to be pushed in the front, right against the barrier, but Deb was about 10 yards back from me, something like that. But you could hear these remarks coming out. I'd love to have made a recording of them. They're so witty. Some of them were, you know. I mean, you perhaps you hear them nowadays, but you don't. I don't know.
You don't get that same level of wit on the terrace anymore, do you? I mean,
no,
it's just straightforward abuse or praise.
Yes, that's it.
Sort of the actual witty comments are very sort of thin on the ground.
Oh, these were brilliant, the ones they used to come out with, you know, and I said they really enjoyed themselves, and they'd stay after the game and still discuss the game. Everybody would mingle away, and Dad and his crowd would still stand there and chat about the game. And reserve games as well. We used to go down reserve games, and then we used to rush around the back of the stand at the end of the game and stand where the players went in. And wait there, and there were about 30 or 40 all gathering around there, you know, and suddenly the result of the first team match had come and go home really good then.
I suppose you must have been sort of quite the envy of a lot of your mates at school and that, and then you...
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I mean, because obviously when I was at school, Dad wasn't connected with Charlton that much then. You know, he was still the supporter, but he wasn't training them or anything like that when I was at school. See, so they only, just all Charlton supporters, that's all there was to it. So they knew Dad went down there and he helped originate them, but there's nothing to kids that isn't, you know, so... So,
what about, you say you used to play football at the back of the stand down there?
Yeah, that's
What about, did you sort of go and mess around on the cliffs as well?
Where?
The cliffs at the back of these terrace, the top of the bank, when there were cliffs up there.
That's facing the old stand.
Facing the stand.
Oh, the old stand there, wasn't it? We used to slide down. That was lovely. That was, The scoreboard used to be, one of the scoreboards used to be there originally. That one there. Oh yeah. Well, I was used to playing in the sand because I said Dad used to work in the sand pit. So what it was, Saturdays we used to go down there and play. Me and my mates always go in the sand pit and play on the sand and everything like that. You know, Dad used to. Well, Dad was foreman down there, but the men used to stand at this height, digging the sand down into lorries below, old lorries, horses and carts, and he used to stick the stand, and we used to have a rope and slide down and push the sand down into the, lorries. So I was brought up on sand, I knew all about sand, with the UGB. And then the ironic part was that they found out, God knows how, that they could get the sand cheaper from abroad than from Siemens. From a mile away, it was cheaper to go to Holland or to get the sand to make the glass than get it from there. So of course they closed the sand pit down. I could never understand how it was cheaper to do that.
Did your dad ever tell you much about the sort of the moves from ground to ground, and when they finally got the Valley site and actually
well, he did, quite honestly, but you know, it's been lost over the years. I couldn't. No, I said people like Colin Cameron and those who know all the details. I mean,
because your dad's name, because when some chaps that I've met whose fathers were involved and actually volunteering to actually clear the Valley site when they were in 1919. They can remember your dad sort of either as acting foreman or something of the workforce down there, you know, sort of bossing people around or whatever.
Well, Dad said to me years ago, he said, if they ever try to build on Charlton Square, they're going to have a shock, he said, because they had to draw the pile was so far down, you know, because he knew what went into the making of it, you know, all hardcore and everything like that. Tons and tons of it went into making the pitch and everything like that. He said, if they tried building on that pitch, they'd have a hell of a job, you know. And I remember when Dad was working down there once, we'd had a thunderstorm in the morning, and I'd gone down there to watch it, and all the crowd were in there, or nearly all the crowd, so about quarter of an hour, half hour before the kick-off, and there was a big pool of water. It was about as big as this room, and Dad was working there, right, I think it was near the goal mouth or something like that, you know. They could never have played, anything like that. And Dad went out there with a chair and a big iron bar, about 6 foot iron bar. He stood on a chair. Literally, it all went down within minutes, you know, and all the crowd cheered, you know, because Dad knew what was underneath there was hardcore. If you could get down far enough, you could get to there.
And the water would drain.
Yeah, and it just went straight away, literally. Yeah, he walked off Dad with his chair and his iron bar, taking the plaudits of the crowd. Yeah, it went a bit like that.
What about, I was just thinking about immediately pre-match, what about the band that used to play down there? Can you remember the band?
Oh yes, the Royal Artillery Band, wasn't it? You know, post-horn gut, that was all they used to play, the chapter. That was the highlight, wasn't it, playing that? It was really entertaining then, you know.
Yeah, it was a real sort of central occasion.
Yes, oh yeah.
I suppose you're getting such large crowds gathering in such a short space of time, and like a live band marching up and down. It's
well, it does, yeah. Well, as you know, it's boring before the game. You know, the last half hour is boring. You've had a chat with your mates and everything like that, and you're just waiting for it. And if you're going to have a band, even something in the background, you know, it's something to look at and everything like that. I know, always the post-horn gut, this chap used to stand up and play that. It was the highlight of the thing.
And were they down there for a long time, the band? Was it?
Yeah, I think they were. I don't actually know offhand how long, but it seemed to me they were for years, you know, they were. And they used to gather around all in a circle, half circle in front of the main stand and play there after the marching. And
would they come out at half time as well? Or not?
I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't think they did. I'm not sure, but I don't think they did. But I wouldn't be sure of that. But I'll tell you what, if I can remember anything else that might be interesting, I'll give you a ring and pop over and tell you anything else that I can remember.
I forgot to bring, I've got some photographs, I've got a couple of photos, actually some stuff that I copied from Colin Cameron, but I don't know if you've seen it, there's a couple when they're actually digging the valley.
Was it?
I don't know if your dad's on there. I mean, he might well be, I really don't know.
No.
But there's two pictures, both taken in the summer 1919 when they were digging the valley, so... when I return these to you, when I see you, I'll bring them along as well.
Oh, I'd like to see, just in case Dad's there, I know.
And if he is there, then I'll do you a copy.
See, what it was, Dad was a navvy all his life.
Yeah.
He was a navvy, so that was easy to him.
Yeah.
That was nothing to him, you know, whereas some of the workmen are skilled, using a pick and shovel would give him blisters and everything like that, but Dad had hard hands, you know, and so he would be, I won't say in charge, but he would help, certainly help with that sort of thing. That's his kind of work, you know, that's what he would kind of done.
Just to finish off, what about the players that really stand out in your memory? The exceptional players that Charlton have had over the years? I mean, are there any names that... So I know you've been very closely associated with the club, so maybe it's a bit difficult to be impartial about it, but...
What you mean not in the last 10 years before?
Well,
that,
any
or
time,
something
any
like
time.
that.
In the years that you've been watching Charlton. I mean, not to say, I don't say pick your best team, but I mean there must be your personal heroes that you had when you were a kid, and that your favourites as when.
Well, I think my favourites would be mainly in that photo you've got of John Welsh and Popeye Brown and Hobbes and everything like that. They're the ones that kind of stick in my memory. I mean, obviously Charlton has some real good players, no doubt about it, but. Billy Bonds, he was one of my favourites. Mike Bailey, there are a couple of the players that come to mind that I thought were very good. Obviously, Sam Bartram. He was Sam Bartram. That was Charlton. Yes, I mean. But I think it's mainly of that side there.
When they're having their success years.
Yeah,
So it's a very sort of dark period, wasn't it, from the sort of the late 50s onwards?
Yes, that's right. I wouldn't kind of pick anybody in the last 10 years or anything like that.
Yeah.
No one at all, to my opinion, stands out in the last 10 years. Well, I suppose when you're younger, you have your heroes, don't you, and everything like that. Well, when you're older, you're more cynical, I think, of players. You know, you should do this, you should do that.
Yeah,
but
everyone's their own manager, aren't they?
What?
Everyone's their own manager.
Yeah, that's right. When you're younger, you know, it's good, but you know, same with the England team, isn't it? Oh, Robson's doing all this wrong and everything.
Yeah.
But he's got a hell of a job on.
Oh, yes,
but because I think really we've only got one or two world-class players at the most.
Very thin on the ground.
Yeah, and the rest are just average.
Yeah. What about the Charlton team of today?
No, I'm not very impressed with that at all. No, I mean, I don't think Lee Byrne's got anything to offer. Quite honestly, he's got his height, but he's gangling,
he's awkward,
and he's so awkward, and it's not as though he lay balls. A couple during the game, a couple he might lay up, but the rest of the time it's not worth it.
So he chests the ball down, turns, and just lays it off, and that's about it. I mean, he had a beautiful chance on Saturday.
Oh yes,
against
the
Millwall.
ball came across. Yeah, no idea. No idea.
No use at all. Like that.
No, I'm not very impressed with the Charlton team at all. That's why I think they'll be struggling again this year. You know, and of course when they bought that Dane, he was so far ahead of them that they thought he was a brilliant player. I mean, he was putting the ball inside the back, and Charlton Wing was just standing there, didn't know what it was all about. It looked a bad pass, but it was a brilliant pass, but he didn't know what it was all about.
Didn't last very long, did
no. Oh no. It couldn't. It was, you know. As soon as they bought him, I thought, oh my God, you can't bring an international into the Charlton team there. You know, it's just not on at all. It just can't be done. And it proved right. Everything he had to do by himself, sort of thing.
What about the young lad Williams, who's sort of shone?
Well, I've only seen him a couple of times. You know, he's got the enthusiasm, which is a good thing.
He's fast.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's got that, which is a big asset.
The keeper.
But what I'm disappointed in football nowadays, I mean, years ago, the ball went to the centre forward, he used to turn around, try and beat the centre half and straight for the goal. Now it's lay it back, kick it back 10 yards, kick it back 15 yards, all the time. And I remember Francis Lee used to play for England. When he got the ball, he'd turn around, head down and straight for the goal. I'm always telling the players in football, get in the penalty area. Perhaps 1 in 10 you might get a penalty, but you're going to get a chance. But if you're not in the penalty area, you're not going to get anything. But you've got to get in and keep going at all. I mean, it annoys me when I see the kick-off, they kick the ball off, bum, straight back to the goalkeeper. And you know, that's what frustrates the crowds, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you can hear them.
Much. I mean, it's just the play's like all more or less stuck, sort of 15 yards either way of the halfway line.
That's it.
Yeah, they're just going backwards.
That's what it's all done.
Across and backwards, not going forward where it should be. And that's where Liverpool pulled Charlton apart when they played.
Yeah.
I mean, they were putting those beautiful passes out to the wing to John Barnes.
That's it.
You know, and Grit was being left stranded.
Yeah.
And John Humphries really had his work cut out for him. He did quite well to stop as many going over as he did.
Yes, yeah.
But I mean, all the time John Barnes had room to roam, and he was just shooting down that wing and banging the ball across.
Well, see, this is what excites the crowds. I mean, when Barnes gets the ball, you can hear the crowd getting up. You don't get that so much nowadays. Hobbs used to have it when he got the ball. You know, old Howell, the crowd, and like Colin Powell used to play in Charlton. When he got the ball, he got to run forward. You know, the crowd were with him. But that's what the lack of excitement is now. You don't get players taking on players, not as much. They want to lay it back, looking for an opening, and it's so boring to watch. It really.
That's why I was very disappointed with Colin Walsh's return at Liverpool. I mean, now he's cracked his leg again.
Yes.
I thought that Liverpool match, he didn't have the aggression, and he didn't have the confidence to actually take on his man and try and beat him. He was going so far, then he was turning around and passing it back. And he just wasn't. I mean, whereas the opposite with John Barnes, he was just going straight forward every time.
Yeah.
Peter Beardsley as well.
But the play nowadays is midfield. If you can get a couple of strong players, I mean, like years ago, like Mike Bailey or Billy Bond, if you can get someone like that in your midfield, or you've got something like Bremner and all those of years ago, if you've got something, that is the powerhouse of your team. They power forward and you get the basket. But if you haven't got a real good midfield, you're just wasting your time nowadays.
At the
really.
moment,
Yeah.
Miller had another abysmal game the other day, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the central defender, you know, they need more than that. I mean, they've got no depth in the squad either.
No.
They've only got 17 professionals or something.
No, nothing to wait and come through. No. As he said, well, it is. Everyone's got their position, and that's it. They know they're safe there. There's no one coming through from the reserve, so they're not bothered.
And the important thing, I suppose, if there was an injection, even if it was only young blood, you know, like teenagers coming up through the Colts or whatever, you know, at least it would just keep the older players on their toes. You know, just sort of they know that if they keep on messing up, they can have someone who's willing to step into their shoes and actually have a good go.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's what they do when they do substitute. When the substitutes warm up, everybody do it if you're having a bit of a rough game. God, I wonder if it's me. I better put an extra spurt on or something. I think that's what the managers do it for. Tell the stuff, you know, have a warm up used to, and just try and G them up a bit, which it would do.
Well, one of the things at that public meeting, Danny Lawrence was asked why he didn't bring on Williams in the Liverpool game, and he said he was thinking about it when Charlton were 1-0 down, and then before he had time to actually make up his mind, Charlton were 3-0 down, so he didn't bother. You know, so I thought there was no point. You know, he might as well just keep him safe for the West Ham match the next week.
Yeah.
But he said one of the things which is probably quite true. He said keep a player on the bench week after week after week, as he has done with Williams at the end of last season and the Liverpool match this season. And it really winds them up. That means when they do finally get out there, they're just raring to go. You can't stop them.
I can believe that.
Yeah, and it paid off, and it paid off with him. But I think he's get Crooksy back. I mean, up front maybe there won't be so many problems, but it's the midfield and the defence. I mean, Reedy and Humphreys, I mean, they're all right. They're pretty solid.
Oh yes, I like those actually.
They've been playing together for a long time as well. They know each
right.
other's play.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the centre of the defence and midfield. That
Miller's making a lot of mistakes at times, isn't he? And everything.
Well, that back pass. Les Briley scored a beautiful goal, mind you. Well taken goal.
Glorious, wasn't it?
But we had no other choice. He had to shoot it or nothing, you know. So he shot it, you know.
In fact, I've done a game this week. Who was it? Royal Bank of Scotland. Yeah. And the chap went past the halfway line. He ran forward and he hit it, and it's identical to Millwall's third goal. And as we ran back, I said to him, that was a great goal. I said, just like Millwall. He said, yeah, ref, I was there Saturday, so I saw it, great goal, wasn't it? I said, yeah, yours was just as good though, yeah. And it was, from the same position, the same shot over the goalkeeper. It was brilliant, you know. Brilliant. And but I'll say to our mates now, you watch how many saves the goalkeeper makes now. Yeah. Mm. You can count them on one hand, the actual diving saves.
That's right.
I think Charlton's game against Liverpool, I don't think Bolger had any what I call saves to make. He didn't have to dive and push it.
I think he made one, didn't he?
Well, I'm talking about, you know, over a period of time. Yeah. I mean, in Sam Darton play and everything like that. Oh, diving about in the mud all the time. Everybody was shooting and everything. That's why I was the goalkeeper. But now they scored the goal. Liverpool, as you say, Bolger made perhaps one good save. The rest were balls just coming back to him, picking up and everything like that. And the shots are not on. That's right. I notice this in the football that I do. Our goalkeepers scarcely make any saves at all. You can count them, I suppose, at the very, very most, 10 at the most.
Could that also be anything to do with the fact that these days, once a player gets the ball, there's someone on him more or less straight away?
Yeah.
The game has been closed right down. I mean, through the sheer professionalism of it, and there's Andrew Leslie Fell, you remember him?
Yeah, that's like that.
And he said, you know, when he saw a video of his 1946 cup final, and it was, you know, the Pathé News, Movie Time News or something, the newsreel. And he said, you know, the Derby players, you know, had the ball and they were coming up over the halfway line, and the Charlton players were just walking towards them. You know, he said you could see them. You know, you could see like the halfbacks were just walking up towards the Derby forwards, strolling up nice and slow. You know, and that giving them the time to get the ball and move the ball around to wherever they wanted to put it. But I mean, these days with the top teams, you know, as soon as you get the ball, whack, you know, there's someone on your back.
Yes.
You haven't got the room to actually move the ball around and do as much as you want to do. If you've got to be precise, you've got to get that ball spot on where it's got to go. The passes have got to be good. I don't know, maybe that's one of the differences, you know, in football.
But I still think they could shoot a lot more. I mean, when they're coming forward midfield, even if it's 30, 40 yards out, they could have a go and everything else, because that excites the crowd, even if it's off target, you know, you know, I mean, as you know, if it goes this side of the goal and people that side, it looks like it's only missed by about 6 inches, but perhaps it's 6 yards away. But bad luck and everything like that. There's nowhere near as much shooting. I mean, I've done a game last week, Samuel Montague, and they had a brilliant winger. No, London Boys. It was London Boys, a Sunday game. They got a nice team. and he was a black boy, and he was an outside right. And every time he ran down right to the wing, right to the corner flag, and put all these beautiful corners over, shots over, and they were really good, really good. But towards the end, that back knew what he was going to do, so he just kept him on that side all the time.
Yeah.
So I said to this kid, when the ball came, I said, look, occasionally cut inside the back, show him you're dangerous as well. I said, you can be dangerous as well, but once you see a player's going down to the corner flag every time, you just keep on that side of him. I know he's getting crosses in, but there's no danger to me.
Yeah.
But if you cut inside or back, and if
Worry,
you know, that's it, and you can push the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
does this make a difference, doesn't it?
yeah.
But anyway,
okay.
Well, thanks very much for coming down. It's been lovely.